short story movie pitch for conceptual storytelling. I'm just gonna explain what's going on in this little clip about the pictures and stuff, and but let's get started. So Alicia's seen here. She's in the middle of a field. She's crying and upset. She just found out that her boyfriend has cheated on her with a 17-year-old girl, and she ends up like pulling stuff apart that's memorabilia and ripping pictures. And there's when her cell phone rings, and it's her boyfriend, so she takes the cell phone and throws it out in the field because she's angry. And that's when this girl shows up behind her, and this chick is hot. Like, I mean, look at her. She's in all black with a purple ribbon tied around her neck. Way hot. And she starts to explain to her that she could be young and beautiful forever, and she could get any guy that she wants. Well, she explains this to her, kind of about what she could be, and Alicia doesn't believe it, so she ends up leaving, and she goes into her house, where this ends the scene, and it starts with another establishing shot of the bedroom. She's in this bedroom, pondering what the woman said, and so she goes to the window, looks outside, she's pondering it, like how could a woman promise something like eternal youth? But then, she sees a shooting star, and she's kind of beautiful, and she's like, well, I wish I could be young and beautiful forever. And that's when the star explodes behind the tree line, this beautiful sparkles, and she ends up, and she turns around and gets back into bed, and then the next is an establishing shot of the kitchen, where she's standing in the kitchen, and that's when she wakes up, and it goes to her point of view to what she sees, which is a bottle of vinegar and this bowl of vinegar, and she looks down like what's going on. She sees this blood all down the front of her dress. So she starts to breathe heavily, panting and stuff, and she turns and she heads off to the bathroom, where she gets to the shower. She turns the shower water on, and then she looks in the mirror to see, just to look in the mirror, and she sees, oh my gosh, she is hot, way hot now, like Mila Kunis hot. Like, she's got beautiful skin, real big eyes, she's all soft and way hot. So she ends up like running out of the bathroom, running out of the house, going back into the field. She pretty much just wants to thank this woman, or just to see how she did it. And when she gets to this woman, she says hello, and the woman pops out, and the woman starts to explain to her what she is now and how she is a Pennangallon, and she starts to give her a little taste of like her history and how she became a Pennangallon. So she used to be like this butt ugly chick in a village. She was the ugliest girl in her village. Look at her, good lord. And well, in this village she couldn't find a husband to even look on her face, because it was just, that bad. So while other people were having families and getting married, she would just stay in her hut, all night crying and hoping she would just die. When her sister got pregnant and had a baby, she ended up going crazy. She grabbed a machete. She went off on the village, killing all the women and all the children in this village, and she got sentenced to be hung by a bull and a rope. And because of that, it was a cursed death. And she explains that her death was cursed, and that's how she became one. And how now Pennangallons, all they do is eat children. And so Alicia's just like, this is like the decision in here that she doesn't want to do that. So she goes back to her house to research pretty much how to kill a Pennangallon. And she finds out that it's blackberry vines. So she goes, gets blackberry vines, she staples them around her windows, and then she goes inside, she staples it around her doors, and while she's doing that, her maker shows up, where her maker's like, what are you doing, that you can't do this. And they ended up getting into like a little quarrel, scuffle, pre-fight into the kitchen, where Alicia stabs her in the stomach with a pair of scissors and ties her to a chair. And so after she's done tying her chair, Alicia, knowing it's her last day on earth, she goes back up to the bathroom to kind of check herself out again, which she's still hot. But her boyfriend ends up coming to the house and ringing the doorbell, and her boyfriend wants her back, and says that he misses her and the whole spiel, and she tells him to just come in the morning. And so when she goes back inside, that's when they go through this change, and they become Pennangallons, and they have this like epic battle, just whoosh. So that's the movie. That ends it, or the pitch. Thanks for watching.